So I'm going to stick with what all his friends call him, Mayf. And that's just how we know him. Anyway, there isn't much you can say about a guy who came from humble beginnings, someone who worked his way to the top in his career, someone who's smart, great looking, always achieves what he sets out to accomplish, and a guy that leaves friends and happiness where he goes. It's enough about me. We'll talk about having known Mayf for the best part of 15 years, I've an awfully large amount of interesting and entertaining stories about him. However, very few of them are appropriate for this wedding, and as I have a lot of respect for Holly and Karen, I'm not going to tell them here today. Although, later on, you might find me at the bar and at the cost of a Jack Daniels and Coke, I might tell them in private. Right, so I guess a good story to start with is one about how Mayf asked me to be his best man. He's kind of already blown this story for me with his speech, but when Mayf proposed to Holly, it wasn't all that romantic, or I don't think so anyway. He was wearing a dressing gown, huge fluffy monster slippers. Top Gear was playing away to itself as a repeat on Dave. And Mayf randomly thrust the ring into his face and made an embarrassing cat noise. You can give us an impression of that cat noise if you want. I can't repeat it. Because I heard it. However, when Mayf asked me to be his best man, he took me out to one of our favourite pubs. In front of lots of our friends and many strangers, he got down on one knee and proposed. I almost shed a tear. Almost. Being the romantic kind of guy that he is, it's important to remember both of the great ladies in Mayf's life. Now, I'm not talking about Holly or his mum. I'm talking about Sheila and Sylvia, his cars. For those of you who know Mayf well, you'll know he likes his cars like his women, loud and fast. But to make up for this, but this is just to make up for him being a bit slow and quiet. Sorry. Having loud and fast cars often attracts a lot of attention, and sometimes attention isn't always good. I'm not talking about the police. I'm thinking about how every time he polishes one of his cars, someone randomly comes and smears a tuna sandwich on the bonnet. Or a seagull will tease him by landing on the roof of his car and voiding its bowels whilst at a distance that's safe for the seagull, but not safe for me. I've never seen a man so truly disturbed at the sight of a seagull. I used to think Mayf was a pretty fearless guy. He used to go downhill biking regularly and come home with broken arms, broken bones all over, cuts and nasty things. But my perception of him changed not so long ago when I took him ice skating on his birthday. He wouldn't leave the side. I've never seen a man look so scared in his life. I think it's a picture that I'd love to share with you all today. Unfortunately, I don't have a photo of his face, but it sticks with me. But this is by no means the most embarrassing story about Mayf. And I have one from before Holly and Mayf got together. We went on a £9.50 Sun holiday to Pontin's Prestatyn.
I didn't go.
Don't laugh.
Wasn't there?
That is pretty embarrassing, but that's not the story. Whilst in the 5-star accommodation that Pontin's Prestatyn provides, Mayf was the only single guy in the larger group. And being so, he ended up sleeping on the sofa bed in the living room. The sofa bed meant that his head was approximately 1.5 metres away from the only toilet in the place, and all that separated him was a paper-thin wall. Not only was Mayf tormented by being single and listening to Sue set her alarm clock for 5 o'clock in the morning and using the toilet and waking him up every day, but when we went out on the last day, he came home and he found the biggest blue bottle I've ever seen, dead, slap bang on the middle of his pillow. And this was really the straw that broke the camel's back on that one. Mayf found comfort in a bag of McCain's extra spicy wedges. Mayf went to town on the wedges, but sadly he didn't anticipate the drive home the next day. Let's just say a journey that should have took no more than 3 hours took us 6. And that's due to a service station stop on May's orders at Prestatyn, Chester, Runcorn, Stockport, Rochdale, Huddersfield, Hartshead-Moor, Dewsbury, and then home. The aptly known services at Runcorn are still a fallout zone to this day. And I've never seen a man who can eat so many Imodium and still need I'm probably starting to bore you a bit now, and hopefully May's going a bit red, which I think he is. But one more interesting story that arose a couple of weeks ago I feel I should tell you about. It's from his stag do. It's nothing like that. There's nothing like that. We took him paintballing, and for anyone that hasn't been paintballing before, it can be quite painful. For those of us who thought about it in advance, we decided to look after the more tender areas of our bodies and pack them out with t-shirts and things like that. Pack the lunchbox, so to speak, if anyone didn't get that subtlety there. I ran around all day jumping in puddles, doing combat rolls and sweating profusely. When the fighting was over, we were all taking off the kit at the end of the day. Mate had his face covered in paint, his hair covered in paint, and whilst I took the t-shirts out from where they had been all day, Mate didn't have a clue where they'd come from. He took them out of my hand, and being the good friend I am, I didn't let him know where they'd come from when he started to clean his face with them. And Ollie might be laughing, but I suspect that Mate went home and gave you a kiss before giving them one. Anyway, thank you all for listening to me. Firstly, I'd love to say the bridesmaids look amazing, you all look great, but Ollie outshines you all today, and she looks beautiful. So, can we all stand to our feet and raise a full glass to the bride and groom? Bride and groom.